Hey Brad, I'm Fish. Nice to meet you. What up, Brad? What it do, playa? Brad! Hi, Brad. I'm Fish. Very nice to meet you. Oh, what up, Brad? What's it going? What's up, Brad? What? My man, what's up? What it do? What's up, Brad? Brad! What's up? Hey, Brad!
What's up, fishes and fishes? Welcome back to the channel. We're back at it with another video coming at you guys from the Hustler Casino once again. This one, we go attend the Brad Owen and Andrew Neeme meetup game. Before we got to the casino, we went ahead and did a little small pit stop, a small little detour to my favorite liquor store out here in Boyle Heights, where we picked up a few beers, a little welcome to LA package for Andrew, for Brad. Put them in a bag, put a fish poker sticker, put a fish poker shirt in there, which we know and we are 100% sure that this mother effer is never gonna wear it. But if he uses it even just to wash his car, I'm freaking cool with that. I asked the floor man if Brad's gonna be playing at our table, and he says, unfortunately, Brad's not gonna be playing, but you guys are gonna get Andrew. And I was like, cool. I mean, Andrew's also cool, but I came because I wanted to see Brad Owen. I wanted to meet him. So I get up with my care package and I'm walking around looking like a complete freaking stalker, like a freaking complete creep head, looking, and boom, finally, I see him. He's right there, sitting down, playing. The whole room gets dark. There's like a beam of light shining on Brad. Everything seems like it's in slow motion. The freaking Beatles are playing in the background. I know this sounds gay. But meeting Brad Owen is like if Tony Hawk and you're a skater, that's great. If you're a pickle and you meet Pickle Rick, that's freaking awesome. That's like the Caitlyn Jenners of, you know what I mean? This guy's a big deal for me. And I'm looking, I walk up to him like all nervous. I'm all practicing like I did in front of the mirror. I was ready. I was like, Brad, welcome to LA, Brad. And he got the freaking package. He opened it up, got the beers, he put them on the table. He's like, oh man, yeah, blah, 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 blah. He gets his phone out, he starts recording, and he starts recording me, and he starts saying a few words that sound like freaking gospel to, he's like, blah, blah, this and that, and he gives me a fist. And boom, and we get to fist each other. So that's enough fan talk for today. One quick announcement before we get into our poker. I'm gonna be in Las Vegas from the 4th to the 8th. That's October 4th to the 8th. If you guys wanna go on and catch a game with me, follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna be going on and posting everywhere I go play at in exact real time. So, another thing, we're gonna be having a meetup game out there at the Sahara Casino. It's gonna start at 6 p.m. We're collabing with Close to Broke. We're collabing with Happy Face Holdem, and we're gonna see if we can get a few other vloggers from the outside to come join the game. It's gonna be vlogger friendly, so if you're trying to start a vlog, you're thinking about it, you don't know how to record, you want tips and stuff, come play with us. We'll be more than happy to hook you up with some tips, help you, and because it's gonna be vlogger friendly. So hopefully you guys could be there, hopefully to see you then. And yep, let's get into our poker. For this first hand of the night, I'm on the big blind looking down at a couple of nickels when the under the gun player makes it 12 bucks. A player in middle position calls, the small blind calls, I make the call, and with about 48 bucks in the middle, we go 4 ways to a flop of 5-6 jack with 2 hearts. The small blind checks, I check my beautiful set with the intention of check raising since our under the gun opponent has been c-betting 100% of the time. This time is no different as he continues his aggression by firing off a continuation bet of 25 bucks. Middle position folds and the small blind has different plans as he exercises his right to a good old check raise, and he goes on and he bumps it up to 50 bucks. I was gonna check raise with my set, but now that he check raised, man, I can't help to think that he might also have a set here, which if that's the case, holy crap, that's gonna be a nightmare situation. What set can he have here? Pocket jacks is not completely out of the question, but since there was no 3-bet pre-flop, I think it's going to be unlikely a lot of the time. Pocket sixes makes a little bit more sense to limp on the small blind. Check raise this flop, and if that's the case, then it's going to suck to be me because I am going to be losing a lot of money in this hand. Sure, he can do this with the flush draw as well, but I think that if he had a flush draw, he would be the one leading out on this flop rather than check raising it. At this point, I feel that I just might be overthinking this a bit too much, and ultimately, I have a set. And if you've seen this video right here where I flopped a set of 3s, you know that I have a hard time folding sets. I make the call, the under the gun player who made it 25 makes the call, and we go 3 ways to a queen of hearts on the turn. The obvious front door flush gets there, and the small blind doesn't stop there. He continues his aggression with another 50 bucks into a pot of about 200 bucks. I'm definitely not gonna fold this, but what I am gonna do is pray to sweet baby Jesus that the under the gun player doesn't do anything stupid, because if he shoves, I'm gonna have to call as I only have about $70 left behind. Sweet baby Jesus answers my prayers as the under the gun player folds, and we go heads up to see a king of spades on the river. My opponent slows down and checks, which seems a little weird, and it smells a bit like fear mixed with weakness, but to be honest with you guys, I'm glad to check this back. He turns over 5-6 for a flopped 2 pair. I most definitely couldn't put him on that since that's the case 5, and I'm just happy that he didn't have a set, because that would have been gross, completely out of control, and I would have most definitely lost all my money. Once again, I'm on the big blind. This time I'm looking down at king queen offsuit, and the under the gun player has put out a $6 straddle. Our opponent on the button, who's been caught opening up weak hands, puts out a bet of 20 bucks. Shout out to him. He's also a fellow blogger and content creator that goes by the name of Branson Poker. We're the one and only Mr. Branson right here. I'll go on and leave a link to the description below to his channel. Follow him. Good content, good vibes.
Dude, this guy's a monster. He kept 3-betting me.
Dude. I'm just kidding. I didn't get insulted. Of course not. Everybody at the table was super cool, super chill. The dynamic on the table was very fun. Everybody was having a great time. Our opponent on the small blind, who's been making loose calls all night, he goes on and he makes the call, and when action gets back around to me, I have an option to either fold or raise. A flat call here is also an option, but that's my least favorite option, and just like Rampage Poker says, folding is boring. So I go on and take the more aggressive route and repop these mother effers to 70 bucks. Branson Poker on the button thinks about it for a good minute before he makes the call. The small blind, who has $20 invested in the pot, puts the remaining 50 bucks, and we go 3 ways to a flop of ace, deuce, queen with 2 spades. Of course, there's the stupid ace on the board, and even worse, our opponent on the small blind decides to donk lead into us for 105, leaving himself $150 behind. That ace on the flop is pretty damn annoying, and not to mention that I still have Branson Poker left to act. Man, it puts me in a kind of particular spot, but with all the backdoor draws that I have, and plus my fold button is currently under maintenance, so I'm not going to be able to fold this when I make the call. Branson Poker gets out of the way, and we go heads up to see a 7 of spades on the turn. My opponent checks, and I'm trying to figure out whether he's afraid of that flush or he's feeling a little trappy, trying to induce me to take a stab at it. I'm not sure what's going on, and even though I picked up some equity, I'm still happy to check this one back, and we go heads up to see another deuce on the river. My opponent decides to wake the F up and fires off a bet of 100 bucks, leaving himself only $50 behind. The fish in me really wants to snap him off, but I'm a new rehabilitated fish that knows that river bets are usually not bluffs. I feel beat with either a flush or an ace, and even though I'm getting a decent price, I'm not going to be able to call him. I let it go, and he is kind enough to show me his hand. Shout out to him. We went ahead and tangoed in a few hands. I didn't catch his name, but shout out to him. He goes on and he shows me ace-4 for flopped top pair. Nice hand, sir. Nice hand. Once again, I'm on the big blind looking down at a beautiful king-9 suited. The +1 makes it 12 bucks. It folds around to me, and looking back at this hand, I should have either raised it or folded, because not only are we heads up, but my opponent just showed a bluff a few hands ago where we went ahead and bet the same amount pre-flop, and he just took it down with a C-bet. I have a stupid tendency to 3-bet my opponents when they show weak openings, and in this spot right here, I was pretty sure my opponent had a mediocre hand since his pre-flop bet didn't change. Nonetheless, I make the call, and we go heads up to see a flop of 9-4-4 rainbow. I check to my opponent, who does a C-bet of 12 bucks, and I'm not gonna go on and give him credit for a strong hand, so I decide to put some pressure on him and repop him to 35, to which he repops it back into my face to $120. This guy's not a bad player, and he knows that I know that he knows that I know that I don't have a 4, because if I did, why would I do that? Would I really check raise here? I'm only repping a 9 here, and that's pretty damn accurate because that's exactly what I have. I make the call, leaving myself with about $100 left behind, and with a pot of over 260 bucks, we go heads up to see a 6 on the turn. Now that shouldn't have changed much, as if I had the best hand on the flop, I'm pretty damn sure I still have it on the turn. Now I'm thinking about a bet size that makes sense, but my options are super limited, as I don't even have enough for a half-size pot bet, so I'm just gonna go for it. I'm all in. My opponent snap calls and turns over pocket kings. I successfully punted off all my money to my opponent, who played this hand absolutely perfectly. Max value for him in a hand that got out of control for no damn reason if I would have just folded pre-flop, since it was only 2 of us. was only gonna be heads up. If there's anything to learn about this hand, is to have a consistent bet sizing every single time, like my opponent did here. He made it 12 bucks when he had Jack 9. He made it 12 bucks when he had 9-10. He made it 12 bucks when he had Ace King. And now when he had Pocket Kings, he didn't change his bet, giving him maximum value. Nice hand, man. Shout out to you. Back to starting stack again, and now I'm on the cutoff looking down at 4-5 suited. Branson Poker in early position makes it 12 bucks. The hijack calls, and given the fact that I'm on tilt, I make the call as well, and the button makes the call as well, and we go 5 ways to a beautiful flop of 8-6-7 with 2 hearts. Not a bad flop for us as we go on and flop the lower end of the straight, and even better, our opponent in the hijack leads out for 20 bucks once both of the players in early position check to him. I need to protect my hand as there's a butt ton of cards there that can be devastating for me, so I repop them to 65 bucks. Everyone gets out of the way except the hijack, who makes the call. Then with about 190 in the middle, we go heads up to see another 7 on the turn. Sure, that board pairing makes my egg yolk a bit runny, but I've been improved to a flush draw with a redraw to a gutter to a straight flush. My opponent checks, and if he's on a heart draw, this is the last street I'm gonna be able to get max value from him, so I'm all in. It's a little bit under 120 bucks, which is less than a pot size bet. My opponent calls and shows a flush draw, but when an ace of clubs hits on the river, that completes my backdoor flush. That seals the deal. We go on and we take this one down. Hell freaking yeah. After playing for a few hours, we finally get one of the celebrities we came here to see. Andrew Neeme sits down at our table, and even though we didn't get to tango in any pots, I did get to pull him off to the side a little bit, take a picture with him, and just get him to be on camera for a little bit.
The one and only Mr. Andrew right here, my man. Hey, so with all your success and everything, do you ever have to use do you know who I am blind at places? Like people be like, wait, let him go, because that's Andrew right there. Does that ever happen to you?
Hopefully it never comes to that, where it's like I feel so entitled where I would use that line and be like, you know who I am. Sometimes there's like, you know, some confusion about like me. I'm filming something in a casino where we're having a meetup game, and somebody didn't get the memo and like gives me shit about filming or whatever. I have to be like, well, we actually have, you know, an agreement today where I can do that. But
you put your mask down. You're like.
I don't know. It depends. I don't think the security is just going to know who I am, like just based on my face. But yeah, if I ever use the words "don't you know who I am," just feel free to slap me across the face.
It hurts me to announce that once again I'm down to less than starting stack after not adjusting my game. Too many pre-flop 3 bets and too many continuation bets that got me in trouble. This last hand of the night is no different as I get dealt ace 2 of diamonds under the gun. The +1 makes it 15. The button calls. The small blind calls. I'm gonna go on and make the call, and we're gonna go 4 ways to a flop of queen 9-9 with 2 diamonds. It checks around to the button, who makes it 15. The small blind calls, and I'm gonna go on and let it rip. I'm all in for a little bit less than 100 bucks, and the only player who calls is my opponent on the button, who turns over queen 9. Jesus Christ. An ace hits on the turn, but I ultimately brick out on the river, and my opponent, whose name is David, shout out to David, he goes on and he takes this pot down. And that's it. We're done for the night. All right, fishes, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We went ahead and cashed out for a big fat 0 after being in it for 400 bucks, but it is what it is. It's okay. We went ahead and felt like winners anyway because we got to freaking meet Brad. But click that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, that notification bell. That way you don't miss a video. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
The one only. I don't know if you guys know this guy.
The one and only.
The one and only here. Hey, so you know you got it all down with being recorded at the table and everything. But have you ever used that? Do you know who I am?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I would use that too if I was you, man.
I'm just like at the deli, and you know, whatever. They say they're out of meat or something, and I'm like, do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
You would, and then they hook you up, right?
No, they say no.